Hey everybody, Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 97 of Award Season Review Season 3. 97 reviews that have come to you in 97 days, covering many of the films that have been contending for awards recognition this season. And yes, that's right, today it is the season finale. I'm dropping this a little earlier in the day than normal, so, this last film I'm talking about is still in theaters, so all the information I'm giving to you, critical response, box office nods, predictions, wins, everything is current as of today. And this review will be spoiler free. Now, before I jump into the film, let me just take a moment to thank everyone who started following me this season. I hope you haven't been disappointed with the content. To those that have been with me, thank you for sticking with me. I hope you've been enjoying everything that's been coming your way. Now, if this is your first time catching me, I'd love for you to click that subscribe button really quick and stay with me on the journey. Just because the Oscars are tonight and I'm done reviewing the awards contenders doesn't mean I'm done. There's still lots of great stuff coming at you all year long on my website, cinephilemike.com, and here on the YouTube channel. You can find lots of great additional content, film festivals, and the like, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the last film of the awards season. We are wrapping up our 14th theme week with the rest of the best. This last set of 7 films have all been nominated for at least one Oscar, because I love to end it there. So I have covered all 50 nominated shorts and features. You can find those reviews all here on the channel. And to wrap the season, I couldn't figure of a better film to close on than the biopic of a previous Oscar winner. Bob Dylan won his first Oscar on his first nomination for the song Things Have Changed, which was featured in the 2000 film Wonder Boys. Yes, I bring to you Searchlight Pictures is A Complete Unknown. Co-written by the film's director James Mangold and Jay Cox, based on the biography Dylan Goes Electric, written by Elijah Wald, this film actually skipped the traditional film festival circuit, arriving in theaters in December of 2024. Actually, after an early LA premiere, it premiered nationwide on Christmas Day. And in the last 2 months or so, the film has so far made $73,076,160 domestically and an additional $37,802,075 internationally for a worldwide total of $110,878,235. Critically, the film is certified fresh on both sides with a critical score of 81% from 322 reviews and a 95% on the popcorn meter coming from over 5,000 audience reviews. Award season-wise, A Complete Unknown is nominated for 8 Oscars. Best Picture, Best Director for Mangold, Best Actor for Timothée Chalamet, Best Supporting Actress for Monica Barbaro, Best Supporting Actor for Edward Norton, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Costume Design, and Best Sound. An AFI Film of the Year, the film was nominated for 6 BAFTAs: Picture, Actor, Supporting Actor, Adapted Screenplay, Casting, and Costume Design. 4 SAG Awards for Best Actor, with Chalamet won. Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Outstanding Cast, the SAG Best Picture equivalent. Those same 3 nominations They had the same 3 nominations, at the Critics' Choice and Golden Globe Awards: Best Picture, Drama for the Globes, 2 Best Actor nods, and Supporting Actor nods, in addition to many other wins and various critic circles and awards ceremonies. And also, worth mentioning, as I mentioned the last award, Mangold and Chalamet won the Visionary Tribute Award at the Gotham Awards for their work on this film. So, what is it about? In 1961, Bob Dylan, played by Chalamet, arrives from the Midwest to New York City. He hopes to meet his idol, Woody Guthrie, played by Scoot McNairy, who is fading from Huntington's disease. Arriving, he meets Woody and Woody's good friend, Pete Seeger, played by Norton. Now, both men take a liking to Bob after he plays a song that he wrote for Woody, and Pete invites Bob to come and stay with him and his family. One night, he introduces Bob to the public at Folk City in New York, and he entrances the whole audience, including the rapidly rising star Joan Baez, played by Barbara. Bob signs with an agent and begins recording. Of course, at first, they don't want him recording his own music. They have him recording covers, which don't sell as well, but eventually he gets to do his own stuff. At a festival at Riverside Church, he meets Sylvie, played by Elle Fanning. Sylvie is an artist and an activist, and the two pair up and start a relationship together. However, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, while Sylvie is in Italy for school and everyone is running from the city, he connects with and takes up with Joan. As Bob's ascension up into folk music explodes, he begins to deal with the prize of rising fame and balancing his relationships, both in love and business. Additionally, being influenced by many others, including his pen pal Johnny Cash, played by Boyd Holbrook, he realizes that he wants to be more than just a folk singer who plays the same thing over and over again that people want to hear as electronic instruments and new styles of music begin to enter that he wants to explore. But this isn't the direction that people want him to go in, and this will cause conflict for him and his friends, and it will all play out as we build towards the Newport Folk Music Festival in 1965. So, here's what I can say. This film is interesting. First off, the acting is superb. Chalamet personifies Bob Dylan, and while at times, yes, it seems a little bit of an impression, there are a few sincere moments and scenes that really lead you out of just an impression and into a real lived in character. And, at times we feel those struggles of the artist who wants to do a little bit more and not be put in a box. He smartly realizes pretty early on this is the man's objective and he eschews it. Now, as the two main women in his life, Sylvia and Joan, Fanning and Barbara, respectively, they do an excellent job embodying their characters. And I want to add on for Barbara, her voice is quite a delight as we listen to her sing at each performance that she has throughout the film. Edward Norton is effective at Pete Seeger. It's a decent performance. It's not necessarily one that I would say is awards season caliber. Not to say he did a bad job. It was just, a good performance, but it was anything stellar. However, he does make his point, and I enjoyed his banjo playing. Visually, the whole team, from the production design to the costumes to the hair and makeup, everything was on point. You feel that 1960s New York aesthetic and the folk festival. You really get a dive. You can tell that they were not taking the shortcuts here. We really see it. And also, I want to highlight, because this was one of its Oscar nominees, the sound. Sometimes in musical films, and this is what drives me crazy, also sometimes when I see live musical theater, they can't balance the sound with the singing right, and so we can't hear the words that the characters are singing. And that's not the case here. The sound mixing and the sound work in A Complete Unknown is stellar. And not just the sound effects, but also with the vocals and the music. You hear every guitar strum, every harmonica blow. Each one is as crisp as every lyric that we hear, whether we are blowing in the wind or moving like a rolling stone. The one area that I have issue with is the script. This is the one I have the wondering about. Don't get me wrong. The story is engaging, and this film, look, there are 4 films nominated for Best Picture that run about 2 hours and 18 to 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm going to briefly compare this to what I talked about earlier this week, Nickel Boys, where Nickel Boys dragged, A Complete Unknown moves, and both films are exactly the same length. So the story is a little tighter in A Complete Unknown. However, and interestingly enough, it's both taking place at the same time in history in the 60s. And, Complete Unknown, they're smart. They avoid the biopic trope. They don't try to show us Bob's whole life. They don't give us a lot of flashbacks. We just kind of get information dumps, and we just look at this pocket of 5 years. We don't even worry about what happened after 65. The issue is that where I think there was an opportunity to really dig into the character of Dylan more, and not from Chalamet's perspective. He's fine. From the writers. In public, Dylan was stoic, didn't really emote a lot, was a little dry. Chalamet nails that, but there are times when he's alone and we know what he's processing, so I feel that we didn't really get to dig deep enough into the man and what he was doing. We see how he interacts, but we didn't learn as much about Dylan the person, so I think that was a little bit of a missed opportunity. So, before I get into my rating, let's talk about these nods. Of the 8, there's only one that I could see the film taking, and that would be if Chalamet pulls an upset and takes that win from Adrian Brody, who's been running this season, which would be a double loss for Brody because he would lose the Best Actor, and he would also lose his record for being the youngest Best Actor winner, because then Chalamet would have it. Best Barbaro and Norton in the supporting roles. Again, good performances, but in their respective categories. No one has been able to touch Zoe Saldana or Kieran Culkin for Amelia Perez and A Real Pain, so I don't think they have a chance to win. Mangold does solid work. but the director is really between Sean Baker for Nora, who took the DGA prize, and Brady Corbet, who's taken a lot of the other ones. Sound, sound always usually goes to the bigger action epics. And so Dune is probably going to take that. But again, I want to highlight the sound in A Complete Unknown was great. Adapted screenplay, there's not enough here. That one's leaning towards Conclave. And while this film's a Best Picture contender, there isn't enough steam behind it. However, you have to wonder, given that they skipped the festival circuit, which usually helps most of the films to get to those top prices, for what it's accomplished is quite impressive. So in closing, all of this put together, A Complete Unknown is a solid 4-star film for me. Now, if you'd like to see this one, as of recording and posting on March 2nd, 2025, Oscar night, it is still in theaters or available for digital rental or purchase on most platforms. All right, so there it is. That is a wrap on awards season reviews season 3. Again, thank you all for coming along with me. I will be back very soon with season 2 of Oscar Rewind, my series of videos where I break down earlier work of this past year's nominees and winners. As always, if you like what you heard here, again, please click that subscribe button, like the video, share the video. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. Find lots of great additional content on my website, cinephilemike.com, including those prediction videos. So if you're finishing up those ballots, check out who I think is going to take each of those awards. All right. Well, until I see you next time, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.